Natasha Harmon's sudden burst of anger made Mason Harmon frown slightly. Cousin, are you seriously turning against me over some pretty boy? His targeting of Dustin wasn't just out of dislike. He was also testing Natasha's stance. Dustin is my savior. If you dare lay a finger on him, don't blame me for being rude, Natasha said coldly. If it weren't for the fact that they were cousins, she would have slapped him twice already. Fine, very well. Mason's face darkened. I'll let what happened with Atlon slide for now, but as for the chief physician position, he's not qualified. This was the first step toward seizing control. He wasn't about to give up that easily. Whether he's qualified or not is for me to decide, not you, Natasha said firmly. Natasha, everything you have came from the family. If you abuse your power and harm the family's interests, don't blame me for reporting you to headquarters. Mason threatened. Do as you please, Natasha replied unbothered. Wait a second. At this moment, Jessica suddenly spoke up. The Bailing pill research is no trivial matter. The chief physician must be someone competent. I think Dustin is far too young. Elder Wong is the better choice. She had no intention of letting a pretty boy gain such an important position in the Harmon Medical Group. Dustin's medical skills are top-notch. He's in no way inferior to Elder Wong, Natasha responded resolutely. Good. Since you say he's so skilled, let's have him compete with Elder Wong and see who's better. Mason's eyes glinted with provocation. Natasha frowned slightly. She realized she might have walked right into a trap. How do you plan to compete? Dustin suddenly asked. Though he had little interest in the chief position, Mason's arrogance was annoying. He intended to humble him a bit. Young man, medical duels are far too dull. How about we play with poison instead? The white-browed elder interjected with a grin. Sure. How do you want to play? Dustin replied calmly. Simple. We'll each concoct a poison on the spot, then drink each other's. Whoever can detoxify themselves first wins. What do you think? The elder proposed. Wait. What if someone fails to detoxify? Ruth suddenly asked. If they fail, well, that's up to fate. At best, they're crippled. At worst, dead, the elder said with a twisted smile. His eyes gleamed with excitement. You can't be serious. Isn't that too extreme? What if something goes wrong? Ruth panicked. Testing poison on oneself could easily lead to death. If we're going to compete, it might as well be thrilling. Young man, do you dare accept? The white-browed elder sneered. Dustin, don't fall for it. He's deliberately setting you up, Natasha warned in a low voice. She now suspected that Elder Wang wasn't a physician at all, but a poison master. Unlike physicians who heal, poison masters specialize in the exact opposite. Their methods are cruel and full of tricks. In a regular medical competition, Dustin would have the upper hand. But going against a poison master in a poison match? That was suicide. Pretty boy, if you're scared, hand over the chief position and apologize to Aunt Lon while you're at it. Mason mocked. How could a kept man compete with Elder Wang? What, just playing with poison? Fine. I accept, Dustin said without the slightest fear. Heh, you brought this on yourself. Mason sneered, a smug expression on his face as if Dustin were already dead. Going up against a poison master in a poison duel. He was begging to die. Dustin! Are you crazy? This could kill you! Ruth grew anxious. There wasn't even a deep hatred involved. Why go this far? I know what I'm doing, Dustin said calmly. Dustin, are you sure about this? Natasha frowned, worry visible in her beautiful eyes. She understood this was a calculated provocation, but being so direct about rejecting it would only backfire. Don't worry, I'll be fine. It's them you should be concerned about, Dustin said with a faint smile. In truth, he wasn't just a skilled doctor. He was also deeply knowledgeable in the art of poison and voodoo. Pretty boy, enough talk. Let's get this started. Mason urged, afraid Dustin would back out. Hold on. Dustin raised his hand. If we're playing with poison, it should be you and me doing it. What do you mean? Mason froze, suddenly uneasy. You like thrills, right? When it's time to drink, you and I will both test the poison ourselves. Life or death, we leave it to fate, Dustin said coldly. Bullshit. Mason's face changed. How can your worthless life compare to mine? You should take a good look in the mirror. Getting scared already? If you don't dare, just kneel down and admit defeat. Apologize, and I'll act like nothing ever happened. Dustin shot back. You! Mason was furious. To admit fear now would be humiliating. But as someone with high status, putting his life on the line against some lowlife offered no benefits. Master Harmon, don't worry. With me here, this kid's poison won't harm you one bit, the white-browed elder declared confidently. In the entire southern province, the only one who could surpass him in toxicology was the medicine king. You're sure? Mason frowned slightly. Absolutely. Just take the bet, I guarantee your safety, the elder reassured him. All right. Mason slammed the table and stood up. Pretty boy, you want to bet your life? Fine. I'll see this through to the end. Once both sides reached an agreement, the atmosphere at the scene immediately turned tense and hostile. Dustin and the white-browed elder each sent a servant out to buy herbs. The two would concoct poison on the spot and consume it on the spot. Whoever could survive. It would all depend on their own abilities. Sis, do you think Dustin can really pull this off? What if he ends up poisoned to death? Rhys said worriedly. If he dared to accept the challenge, then he must have some confidence. Trust him, Natasha replied, her face calm, though her heart was full of unease. If it were up to her, she would rather Dustin surrender and end this immediately. I mean, yeah, but Dustin is skilled in medicine, not poison. Compared to Elder Wang, he's clearly outmatched. Rhys shook her head. Different disciplines required different expertise. Crossing industries was like crossing mountains. How could an amateur compare with a professional? Compared to the sisters concerned, Jessica, seated in the main seat, looked completely indifferent. Competing in poison making with a poison master, was Dustin bold or just foolish? Either way, she was happy to watch this play out. As long as Dustin lost, he'd either be dead or crippled. And then she wouldn't have to worry about her daughter's marriage anymore. Pretty boy, I suggest you surrender now. Once the poison is brewed, you won't even have the chance to regret it, Mason Harmon said, adding pressure. To be honest, I admire your courage, putting your life in someone else's hands. Did you ever consider that if he loses, it's your life on the line? Dustin replied calmly. Rubbish! Elder Wang has researched poison for decades. How could he possibly lose? You'll find out soon enough. Mason sneered. Dustin simply smiled in silence. After a while, the servants sent to purchase the herbs returned one after another. With the herbs in hand, the white-browed elder immediately began brewing his poison. His hands moved quickly and precisely, a dizzying flurry of skill. By contrast, Dustin moved unhurriedly and remained composed. About the time it takes to drink a cup of tea later, the elder's poison was ready. It was a vial of black liquid, murky and vaguely emitting a fishy stench. Pretty boy, here's the poison. Let's see if you dare drink it. Mason placed the vial on the table with a mocking look. Anyone could tell that black liquid was highly toxic. Drinking it would definitely endanger one's life. Dustin, maybe let's forget this. That stuff could kill you, Rhys said, unable to bear it. Natasha beside her clenched her fists tightly. It's fine. Just a little poison, nothing to worry about. Dustin gave a calm smile, picked up the vial, and drank it all in one go. His decisive action stunned Mason. Did this guy really not fear death? How do you feel? Natasha asked urgently. A bit bitter, a bit astringent. Overall, not bad, Dustin replied thoughtfully. Natasha's mouth twitched. Was I asking about the taste? Young man, if you can't hold on, don't force it. Kneel down and apologize to Mr. Harmon, and maybe I'll spare your life. The white-browed elder said with a smirk. Your poison seems mediocre. Dustin smacked his lips and said, If I'm not mistaken, you made break intestine powder, didn't you? It's a potent poison, but you messed up one of the ingredients. You should have used aconite instead of monkshood. They're similar, but the difference is subtle. And sometimes, details decide the outcome. Huh! The elder's face changed. How do you know? Did you sneak a look at my formula? He had indeed made break intestine powder, and it contained monkshood. Why would I need to peek? I smelled it, Dustin replied blandly. You used 5 main ingredients: Nux vomica, thunder vine, datura, monkshood, and break intestine herb. It's close, but still flawed. Hearing this, the elder's heart sank. The boy in front of him had named every ingredient without missing a single one. If he had peeked, that would be one thing. But if he figured it out just by smelling, it was terrifying. Even he himself couldn't do that. Elder Wong, what's going on? It's been several minutes. Why is this guy showing no reaction? Mason asked, puzzled. Don't worry, Mr. Harmon. He's clearly forcing himself. Without the antidote, he'll be vomiting blood within a cup of tea's time, the elder said confidently. Even if the other guy recognized the ingredients, he couldn't possibly neutralize it. After all, he'd added an extra hidden touch. Good. That's what I want to hear. Mason secretly sighed in relief. My poison is ready too. After some mixing, Dustin poured out a bowl of yellow medicinal soup. It was hot, smelly, and downright disgusting. What the hell is this? It stinks. Mason covered his nose, full of disdain. It smells bad, but it tastes decent. Go ahead, give it a try. Dustin pushed it forward. Mason Harmon, what's the matter? Are you going to back out now? Natasha pressured him. Mason didn't respond but looked toward the white-browed elder, as if seeking confirmation. Don't worry, Mr. Harmon. I saw every herb he used. As soon as you drink it, I'll have the antidote ready within 3 minutes, the elder declared confidently. Fine. I'll drink it. Mason, bolstered by the assurance, picked up the bowl, pinched his nose, and drank it all in one go. Ugh! The moment it hit his stomach, Mason nearly threw up. It wasn't just smelly. It was also bitter, astringent, and utterly nauseating. It felt like he had swallowed actual shit. Hey! If you vomit it out, it won't count, Dustin reminded him. You! Mason bit down hard, his face flushed red, and forcefully swallowed it back down. He'd already drunk it. Spitting it out would be a waste. What the hell did you put in there? Why does it smell so horrible? After drinking it, Mason was left with a taste that just wouldn't go away. Nothing much, just added a bit of golden juice, Dustin said casually. At that, the white-browed elder's expression turned strange. Even Jessica, seated in the main seat, furrowed her brow. Golden juice? What's that? Mason was confused. Dustin smiled faintly and explained. Golden juice, also called golden water or clear fecal liquid. Simply put, it's human excrement.
And just can't accept it. This can't be the end yet. You promised to never leave, and now you're gone. Can't believe I can feel the world slipping away as you slowly fade from my everyday. You promised forever a love without end, but now I'm left broken, struggling to mend. I thought we were so tied, destined for a lifetime. Love with no end. Love with no end. I still see your face in every place, feel your warmth, your gentle grace. But now there's just an empty space, and I'm lost in this endless chase, keeping you in my heart, a piece of you I'll never let go. Though distance brings separation, in my